As we told you, it's just over $1 trillion and rising quickly. But if you're looking for a more precise number, you can always go to usdebtclock.org, where they're literally keeping a running tally. We've been checking on this. There's the big number right there, right under me. We're going to keep the clock on the screen while we tell you about the place where the government keeps its own tally of the debt. It's called the Bureau of the Public Debt, and it's located in, of all places, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Some of the people who work there talk with CNN Radio's Lisa Desjardins.
I get very excited. They call me a nerd several times, and I think it's all because I get really excited about the work that we do. I think it's interesting because you can see what the debt is made up of.
All right, and CNN Radio's Lisa Desjardins is in Washington. Do I say your name with a little too much Dawn?
You know, well, I'll take all the sauce and spice I can get. It works.
My executive producer just told me to work on your name. All right, let's start with the most important part of this story. And I'll tell you, Lisa, I'm glad that you're so honed in on this, because we talk about a lot of stuff in the news, but this could end up being the most important story that we talk about here on CNN over the next several years. We've seen the number. It's frightening. How much do we owe? Explain it so that viewers could understand the severity of this for us, if you would.
Right now, we're at $12.1 trillion that the United States owes. It's our absolute limit. And in fact, we've reached that limit. Those folks that we just showed their picture in Parkersburg, Jamie Saline, Mike Linder, those are the guys that every day are figuring out the national debt. And right now, let me tell you, their lives are very difficult because we have hit the debt limit. Those folks in Parkersburg, everyday working folks, are waiting for Congress to raise the debt limit. And I'm told that they're working on that this week, but $12.1 trillion, no joke, Rick. You know, that's $1.2 billion a day in interest payments. This is the thing. In interest payments, $1.2 billion a day that we throw out the window on the national debt.
Well, let me show you something. I want to ask you, by the way, about this limit, because as far as I'm concerned, it's an artificial limit anyway, because they could put it wherever the hell they want to. It's not their money, which is frustrating, by the way. But let's talk about it being, in a way, our money. How much do I owe as a taxpayer? How much do I owe as a citizen? Roger, I don't know if you can get that, but there it is. Thanks, Raj. Thanks, Angie. All right, you see that right there? This is your part of that debt if you pay taxes in the United States. She just told you what the government owns, right? That's what you owe. $111,388. That's a whole lot of moolah, Lisa.
It's an incredible amount. And if you look at the national debt and then you look at how much we're spending on, say, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, if we didn't even have those interest payments on the debt, just the interest alone, forget the debt, 2 years of interest on the national debt, and you would have paid for everything in Iraq and Afghanistan this year. So it's a huge amount of money. In fact, Rick, the interest payments on the national debt are, by most estimates, our fourth largest expenditure as a government. The fourth largest expenditure that we have is the interest on the national debt.
By the way, am I wrong about this limit that they're, I mean, who cares? They can move this thing as high as they want to. It's their ceiling, and the troubling part is it's not their money, because I guarantee you if it were, they wouldn't be spending the way they do, right?
Well, the thing is, the government does set its own credit card limit, so you're exactly right about that. The thing, though, is that world financial markets watch that limit. They say, okay, we get that you set your own limit. That's your right, your financial right. But can you keep to it, United States, or not? And are you going to be able to pay back the money that we're loaning you, the rest of the world?
And that's what makes the value of the dollar go down, right?
In part. And when we're right now where the U.S. has said, okay, we're setting the debt limit at $12.1 trillion, and we're about to go above it, if the United States Congress does not pass a new debt ceiling, then we will literally not have funds to work with. So those folks in Parkersburg, West Virginia, 6 hours from Washington, in the hills of West Virginia, right now they're treading water, keeping our accounts balanced, watching every penny because we don't have any pennies to give right now.
That is so cool that you would go there and interview
Amazing
those folks.
people.
I never even knew that they existed. I think most people wouldn't know that they existed. And what you've done is you've turned what is a very complicated story for most Americans into something that we can now relate to and at least partially understand. But we're going to stay on it, and we thank you for doing that, Lisa. Appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. Those are great folks. A little bit nerdy, they say, out in Parkersburg, but really good people.
All right. Thanks so much. A little bit nerdy, aren't we all?